Juvenile law, past, present, and future. That's how I see it. I'm Bob Bianchi. I'm one of the partners at the Bianchi Law Group, and our team of former prosecutors fight the government when they charge our client with crimes. And as former prosecutors and even now as criminal defense attorneys, juvenile law, myths and legends. What concerns me from what I hear from my colleagues is it's just a juvenile crime. Well, first of all, the adjudications, they're not crimes in the state of New Jersey, but if I use them interchangeably, it's for that reason. So these juvenile offenses, and what's the big deal when they're 18, their record is sealed? Well, it is until it's not. And at the Bianchi Law Group, like we always say to people, do not retain our services. We are a higher end priced law firm. Our team gets the job done. We work hard for our clients, okay? We can't always guarantee results, but we can guarantee effort. But we really care about what happens. And with a juvenile offense, you don't want there to be collateral consequences down the road because these adjudications of delinquency can be problematic. And the law changes. And the laws can change in 5 years from now. And at a certain point in time, the ceiling of the record can be pierced. It can be looked into. It doesn't just disappear and evaporate. It still exists. It's still there. Okay, so we are very, very aggressive with regard to how we handle juvenile cases because why do I say past, present, and future? Well, like I try to tell people in our mindset classes that there's not much you can do from the past but learn from it. But don't dwell there. And there's some level of importance to your future, especially about how there's going to be catastrophic consequences or collateral consequences to something down the road in your future that you do need to be concerned about. But the place where you can make the change, that you can make the difference, where you can start to rehabilitate the situation is in the present moment with remaining silent and hiring the best lawyer you can afford. Lawyering makes a difference. Who your lawyer is, the team they have behind them, the policies and procedures of the law firm, and the philosophy of the law firm. And that's where I'm at right now. The philosophy of the law firm is to aggressively fight like we do in all cases, juvenile cases or otherwise, because there's no reason you should take a case on as a lawyer and say, well, it's just juvenile and the case is going to be, sealed when they're 18 years old. So I really don't need to fight that hard. To me, that is not an answer to anything. There's Megan's Law consequences on sex crimes, and there's the opportunity that this can always raise its head like that beast at the end of a horror movie and come to grab a juvenile back in their adult life. So watch out for that and recognize that, in my opinion, at least, if it were my family member or my child, I would want them to get the same level of efficacious fight, aggressiveness, temperament, that they have in the adult court with the juvenile court because their lives have so much of the future ahead of them that you don't want something in their past to have that much of an impact on their future. And the time to correct that is now, in the present moment, by hiring a lawyer and a law firm that's going to fight for the juvenile in that particular case. So thank you for listening to that. I want to say that because I hear a lot, well, they said it's just a juvenile matter. There's not just with anything when you are charged by police and prosecutors. That's serious, needs to be taken seriously as much in the adult court as in the juvenile court. Maybe we'll do something a little bit later about the differences and how those two systems operate. That's a worthy conversation because they are vastly different in their temperament, the philosophy, the law, and the whole procedure. But it doesn't mean that it's any more or less important than an adult case. Thank you very much. I'm Bob Bianchi from the Bianchi Law Group. We practice in every county in the state of New Jersey. Love what we do. And if you ever have any interest in calling us or asking us to either speak or a family member or yourself that gets involved in a criminal justice matter, feel free to give us a call. We practice in all 21 counties in the state of New Jersey. Thanks.